Welcome to Flying High with Cam.
One night freshman year was when like my whole life changed. I ended up getting 12 years in prison for a non-dangerous burglary charge at 18 years old. And I'm in a relationship with a correctional officer at this point too. 2 days we were hooking up, got her bringing in the dope sack for me, cell phones, like everything, bro. I'm telling you, when I found God, just a switch flipped for me. How does this much good shit happen to a guy like me now? Maybe this is God. Maybe I should pray then or something. Yo, if this is you, like, please be real.
Oh, sorry, man.
Oh,
Sorry, bro.
oh my God.
Do you know where we're at right now?
No.
Huh?
Oh my God.
Hold on, bro. Do you know where we're at?
You're joking.
Flight straight out, runway 4 right, clear for takeoff, 882 Lima.
Oh,
Just feel like you're Superman flying, bro.
literally. You're joking. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro.
You good?
I don't know if I can do this.
You want me to turn around?
Oh my God, hold on. Oh,
I can turn around, dude. No
Oh.
shame. Good?
I think so.
I think so.
Holy shit, that is scary taking off. Where do we ride to?
I got a surprise for you,
Are we going,
bro.
like over buildings and stuff?
Well, we're gonna
We're
go out
safer in
into
the middle of nowhere, not over buildings.
we're gonna go out into the desert here.
882 Lima.
Bro, I'll turn around. There's no shame.
Nah, I mean, we're already up here.
We're already up here.
Damn, that's crazy.
Like what? Talk to me, man. I've done this for so long. I don't know.
Oh my, oh my God, I don't know, that take it off was just nuts.
Like you felt like the ground was coming out, or
Yeah.
just like lifting off.
Yeah, just I feel like you're just like floating.
You like roller coasters and stuff?
I can do roller coasters. I'm not like a big fan though.
At the wagon
Okay.
wheel, make left traffic, runway 2.
Damn, we're going 90 right now?
We're actually doing 110 on the ground. That's 90 knots.
Wow.
Doesn't feel like it, huh?
No.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to Flying High with Cam. Today I have my good buddy now. I met him a couple months ago, Peter. You served 12 years in prison at the age of 18, man. Your story is absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait for you to tell it today, but I do have a treat for you. So you're going to see it in about like 15 minutes.
Uh-oh.
This is your first time in the helicopter.
First time ever in any helicopter.
Flying. You've been on a commercial airplane.
Yep. Yeah, but I do not like heights. And you know, it's crazy. I'm serious. After prison, like after my last flight, I was like, I'm terrified of even flying now. Like, I don't know what I don't like to be not in control though.
Well, that's so weird because I would imagine life in prison, you have control, but you don't have like your freedom, right?
What's crazy is like I didn't have control, but I had full control of everything in my situation. If that makes sense. Like when you run a yard, like I had full control of everything. So like the day-to-day stuff that I didn't have like control of my freedom, like you don't even think about that because you're living there, you know. So it's like,
Okay.
to you guys, it might have felt like I didn't have like a say in anything because I was in prison, but like to me, like I had full control of where I was in every environment I was in, you know.
But does everyone in prison have that full control? Because you said I ran the yard.
Yeah, no.
So explain what that means. Because before I met you, I mean, you introduced me to completely different terminology,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I don't know what this means. You had me go watch that movie Shot Caller,
Yeah.
which I texted you that night. I think you left my house at midnight. I texted you at like 3 a.m. I was like, bro, I have more questions now than ever. You spent 3 hours in my house explaining everything.
Yep.
But so what does it mean that you run a yard?
So like I don't know, kind of like you see in the movies. Every yard there's a shot caller. Like each race has the head dude in charge, like the CEO of the business for each sake. Because like technically each prison yard is a business, you know. So they have to make money for the white boys have to make money for the Aryan Brotherhood. The Mexicans have to make money for the Mexican Mafia. So each yard is its own business.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Like they're counting on people in the yard to make money.
100%.
What? Like,
So that's why now, like I said, being a shot caller is not just being tough, because like everybody's tough there, you know. It's like it's being an entrepreneur on top of that. It's making money, you know. I'll give you a full prison history course real quick, okay? So the Aryan Brotherhood got formed back in like the 70s or 80s from black guys that were literally like raping and extorting white people in prison yard in Central Unit in Florence in Arizona. Like that's right, I did time there too.
Okay.
It's built in 1938. Like it looks like Shawshank Redemption, like the movie's prisons. You know, like cell blocks, 5 stories, and all that stuff, right? So they formed the Aryan Brotherhood, like a group of whites. They're like, hey, we're done like getting our people raped and extorted. Like you couldn't even walk back with commissary, which is like your store, back from the yard to your cell because they take it from you. So they formed the Aryan Brotherhood.
The blacks and the Mexicans.
The blacks would take it from the whites.
Okay.
So they formed the Aryan Brotherhood. And they just literally started killing them, like no joke, like knife fights, and they formed the Aryan Brotherhood.
This is in the 70s.
Yes, and you can look it up from like 76 to 79. Central Unit was the most dangerous prison in the entire United States of America.
Where at?
Central Unit, Florence.
In Florence?
Yep. Was the most dangerous prison in the entire country. You can look it up.
What?
So they formed the Aryan Brotherhood so they could like for protection. So we couldn't do that. So like when I say like each yard has to make money, they're making money for the Aryan Brotherhood members who are sitting in Supermax and they're never getting out of there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because they're the dudes that like
they stop the crap.
So we say this when like if you have a youngster right there that doesn't like to pay taxes. So say he's bringing in a dope sack, right? And he's bringing in like seriously like an ounce of heroin, right?
He says it like it's so natural, like he's bringing in the dope sack.
So he's bringing in an ounce of heroin, right? And he has to break off 25% of that, right?
Okay.
To me, who's running the yard,
Okay.
right? And then I have to sell that and then send money to the Aryan Brotherhood members that are sitting in SMU too. And if the
And
youngsters
that goes to their family?
to their
That's
girl,
like a
yeah.
royalty for stopping the violence on the white
Absolutely.
people.
Yep. So when you get this youngster, he's like, I don't want to tear up 25%. It's like the only reason you're allowed to walk this yard is because of what they did back
Wow.
then, right? So it's like
Dang, so that's still happening.
still happening to this
30,
day. Yeah, and
whatever
the
years
dudes
later.
that are sitting in SMU2 that are like never getting out of those cells are running yards from their cell, from letters, and they're calling shots from visitation.
What, man?
They're giving their wives messages from visitation, and their wife gets a hold of our people, and that's how they're literally calling shots from yard to yard and state to state.
See, this is crazy. This is why like, your life, bro, is so crazy. But let's rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
For people maybe on my channel that have never heard about you. Just give us a little, clip. Like, how did it all happen? You're 18 years old. You're growing up in Mesa, right?
Actually, I was from Ahwatukee, so yeah, I'll give you the crash course. So,
18 years old, good kid. That like,
I was a good kid. I was a good kid growing up. I was
Okay.
I was literally in a movie as a kid. I had a modeling agent. I was a top athlete. I thought I was just gonna have my pick of what sport I wanted to go pro at, and that's how I lived life. Like I got B's and C's just naturally, and I never paid attention in school. I had ADD really bad, but sports was I literally just knew in my heart sports was my way out, and I was gonna be an athlete. And so I didn't even.
when you say way out though, like you didn't have like a bad childhood.
No,
but it's just
like a way
where
out,
you're
like-
gonna make money.
Yeah, for a
Like,
career.
good
Like I
money.
didn't think about anything. I knew the sport was
Okay.
gonna be my career.
Okay.
And so my parents split when I was, I think, 10, 11 years old. It wasn't a bad divorce or anything. I wouldn't say my life was bad, but I went and lived with my mom. We had a little studio apartment. Me, her, and my brother shared a studio apartment. Like I shared a bed with my mom.
Okay.
So I was like 15. And then my grandma and her moved in together, and they bought a house by my middle school in Ahwatukee. And to kind of have some more supervision on me, my mom was a flight attendant, so she was always out of town. So anyways, I get in with the seniors because, my house was a party house. And then one night freshman year was when my whole life changed. So, and it's coming full circle is because it's when the guy that I ended up going to prison for robbing used to be my best friend. So he asked me to take one for the team, right? He wants to hook up with this chick, Lindsay Howard, right? And he asked me to hook up with her friend Ashley. And Ashley was one of those, I don't know if they had these in Queen Creek, but one of the girls that lost to Virginia 6th, 7th grade, one of those girls. You know what I'm saying? One of those girls, lost to Virginia 6th, 7th grade,
Okay.
whatever. I could have had her any day if I wanted. I never wanted to. So he asked me to take one for the team. So no joke. I'm like, all right. So we sneak them out of they snuck out of the room. We weren't even driving. We're 15. So Lindsay's older brother picks them up from her house at after midnight sometime. They sneak out of their bedroom window. He drops them off with a bottle of Jack Daniels and both of them, right? So we end up getting hammered. We both lose our virginity that Friday night. He picks them up at 3 or 4 in the morning. They sneak back into the room.
So Ashley stole your virginity.
Yeah, literally, bro. Stole my virginity and my freedom. So anyway, so we do this the Friday night, right? Saturday night comes out. We do the exact same thing. Sneaks them out. We polish off the second half of this bottle of Jack Daniels. They go back to the house just like normal. And then all of a sudden, Sunday comes around, bro, and I'm on the phone with him. And she was being really weird and short with me. And I'm like, what is your deal? She's like, I'm mad. She says, I'm mad at you. But wouldn't tell me why she was mad at me. I'm like, whatever. Like, no joke. I remember saying, like, these bitches are stupid, whatever. I hang up on it. I'm like, I'm not even trying to hang out with them today. So then I end up going home, and my mom is on the phone with Ashley Chan's mom when I walk into my house, and the next thing I hear out of my mom is like, there's no way my son raped your daughter.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the hell? And I grabbed the phone and hang it up. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And she's like, it's Ashley Chan's mom. And I'm like, you're joking. Next thing you know, cops show up at my house.
And how old are you at this
15.
time? Okay.
And I'm like, what the hell? And so they end up jamming me up. I agreed to take a lie detector test. She says that I supposedly had sex with her while she was sleeping, right? She doesn't want to take a lie detector test. They did the rape canard, and all they saw that they said that she had sex, but nothing was forced. There wasn't any damage down there. And then she doesn't want to press charges, but then goes to school bragging about it. So, like, school comes around. The cops don't even charge me, right? They don't even give me a lie detector test. School comes around the next Monday, and I'm a freshman kid, right? So now I go from, like, being the popular freshman kid to, like, I'm not, like, something's going to happen to me this day, right? They end up getting so many, like, little messages that something bad's going to happen to me. They, like, lock the school down, call my parents in there, and no joke told my mom and dad, like, hey, we don't even know what to tell you right now, but your son is not safe here at the school with what just happened.
Was your school, like, kind of rough?
No, I was from Mountain Point, now Watuki. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is...
no, like,
Okay.
I don't. So anyways, and I go from that day from, like, I drop out of school. I'm out of school now, and I've, like, at this point, I'm like, F God, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell happened to my life? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
So fast.
so then I go hanging out with, like, dudes that are in drugs that aren't in school. And my mom's a flight attendant, so I'm home during the day by myself. 15 years old, like, we still don't even know what to do. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally go start using. So this first weekend I hang out with these dudes, man, like, I got introduced to crystal meth, ecstasy.
Oh, and you've never done drugs before, except
Never
for
did
drinking.
any of these hard drugs before, bro. And, like, these dudes are doing this, like, normally. And I'm like, so no joke, my first weekend ever, I smoked crack, did crystal meth, and all this my first time the same weekend.
Wow.
And, bro, they had me so hooked. Like, I didn't even, like, you don't even realize how quick your life just goes downward, you know? And, like, next thing you know, I'm in rehab I'm still not even 16 years old. So I'm in rehab now at 15 years old still. And I convinced my parents to get me out before this 28 days is over. And I'm like, all right, I got my head on straight now. I'm good. Like, well, I just need to get off meth.
How long have you been using for before
Probably
you
like
went to
6 or 8 months or so, I would say, like,
Okay.
nonstop.
Then your mom's like, hey, we need to put you in rehab.
Yeah, like, you know, I lost 50 pounds, you know, whatever, how much
Jeez.
weight. You just looked horrible in, like, a few months. And I remember I talked them into getting me out early. And then, like, I didn't even, like, think of, like, actually, like, you know, like, being sober, like, living a, like, a life of recovery. Like, I was just like, all right, I just got to get off meth, you know? And I start using again, and, you know, we just get into some bad stuff and start stealing, you know, because the drugs just, like, you know, by that time your parents aren't giving you money, you know, like, yeah, like, it's all on you. And I'm like, I'm like on the outs with my mom, like, we're stealing and robbing.
She's in over her head.
Oh,
she
yeah,
doesn't
she
know
has
what to
no
do.
idea how to control me. She's just trying to work and make money to survive. And
Yeah.
and we, you know, we get into stealing cars, and, you know, I stole it got so bad, you know, like, you just get, and then that drug makes you think you're untouchable, man. And it's like, I was so mad at the world, and so, like, I just didn't care about anything, you know. And I ended up stealing a Mercedes-Benz from the Mercedes-Benz dealership right there. Mercedes-Benz and Chandler, brand new, like, back when, like, Gone in 60 Seconds came out. They said they're unstealable, and I was just like,
Oh, I got this.
that's how dumb I am. Like, my mind was like, I'll go show them I can steal one of those cars.
Yeah.
So then I got arrested for that, and I get out on probation. And then spring break, which should have been my senior year of high school, my brother and his little friends are out there, and they end up, you know, they tell me that they went and burglarized the Nelson's house. It's Brandon Nelson, he used to be my best friend.
Yeah.
And if he just sticks up for me and says, like, what happened, like, that whole thing went away. But he's like, I'm not getting involved in this stuff. And I'm like, so I'm mad at him already. So then they go burglarize his house. I go back. We take a bunch of, my buddy took jewelry and everything. I didn't even make it out of the garage. But anyways, we ended up burglarizing the house and took a bunch of jewelry, change, DVDs, all kind of stuff. Moral, the end of the story is I ended up getting 12 years in prison for a non-dangerous burglary charge at 18 years old. And I served 11 years and 10 months straight. I went to prison at 18 years old, 6 foot, 144 pounds. I got out at 30 years old. Right a month after I turned 30, 6'4", 264, straight out of Supermax. Like, you know, my last 11 months and I was under investigation for an attempted murder in there, like the worst of the worst of the worst. And got out and didn't even have prison made me so bad in there, like I didn't even have a plan for when I got out.
Well, I remember you telling me at my house you didn't believe that you were getting out.
I didn't. All I kept telling myself was, if I get out, I'll figure it out, but I just got to get out of here.
Dang, man.
Yeah, no plan of what to do for success-wise or work or anything, and nobody in my family is successful. I don't come from shit, and but it shows what you can do if you with the right mindset out here,
So you go from this 18-year-old, like, I'm on top of the world, to, hey, 12 years in prison. Like, what's the culture like day one? Like, you go out to jail today, like, what's that like?
It is night and day different from what I grew up in. It's like those dudes are like, straight gangbangers, and like.
If I got booked today, let's say we land this helicopter, they book me in.
Yeah.
Like, what's my next 24 hours looking like?
The first 24 hours, it's not really bad until you get housed and stuff, and then like once you actually get to the house where they dress you out in clothes and stuff, then it's like, people want to see what you're about and stuff.
Okay,
especially a good-looking dude like you, Okay. It's funny. I always say this, like, jail's the only place you'll get made fun of for being good-looking. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, it's not good to be a pretty boy in there.
I would. So what is that like?
And
so
you are definitely a pretty boy.
Thanks. I don't know if that's good or bad, man.
It's good out here, not in jail.
You've heard about these Gilbert goons?
Yes.
I imagine, like, that's you. He's 18 years old, did something, well, not something stupid, but, like, they're thinking they're untouchable. Yep. I don't think they're on drugs. Maybe they are. They're beating the crap out of these kids.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's, like, almost smiling in his mugshot. What's the next 3 months look like for him?
Dude, you can't, and especially for those charges, like, so they're in juvy's different. Like, when it's violent charges, they go, you go upstairs at Madison, and that's where, like, the juveniles that are being charged as adults all are. Like, for a white kid like him, I always say this, like, I've been in the Supermax, max security, like, the most locked down places the entire state of Arizona offers. Nothing is worse, and I've never even been there, than upstairs at Madison juveniles if you're a white kid.
Why?
Because
that's where he's going?
Yeah, because there might be 1 or 2 white kids in the pod, and every other dude in there. I mean, you hear the war stories in there, like every other. Oh,
sorry, man.
Oh,
sorry, bro.
Oh my God.
Do you know where we're at right now?
No.
Huh?
Oh my God.
Hold on, bro. Do you know where we're at?
You're joking.
Bro, we're over Florence Prison right now.
You're kidding. That is. Oh my God.
Bro, you know how many times I've flown over this the past 13 years where you were probably down there in one of these rooms? I'm gonna make a track you walk when you're. I'm gonna make a slight bank to the right, okay?
Yeah.
This is more like you tell me, like what?
That's East Unit.
This is East Unit. Yeah. So where were you at when you were here?
So that's a medium security yard, and it's the only open medium security yard in the state because each one a hut there's not showers, so you have to go to the shower hut, so they can't lock it down. If you go to the right, that's Central. Oh my God, that's Central Unit.
Do you want me to keep turning? Are you good to keep turning?
That's the most dangerous prison right there. That's Central Unit, the big one. That's like with the huge buildings. That's where the death chamber is too.
So right below us, what's this?
This is that's a medium security yard.
But what were you saying about the showers? They don't have showers in those rooms?
So it's the only open yard in the state for a 3-yard because lifers can go there. So look at this. Yeah. So I've been in all these buildings. CB2 is the big building on the right, and then CB5 and 7 are the first 2 right here. Those are like the lockdown. If you get in trouble in there, that's where you go. So look at
this wall right here, north and south.
So look at this big building back there. You see this building, the little small building behind it, and that spout right there?
Yeah.
That's from the gas chamber. That's the death house.
No way.
That's literally is in the gas chamber right there. I've been there when they've executed dudes, and they literally lock the entire place down. Nothing goes on when they're executing people. But that's actually, they call it the death house. Dude, I want to film. Can we go back over that?
Well, they're cool with us flying over, but if I'm circling, they might think something's up. So let me go out a little bit, and then we'll make another pass.
Oh my God.
But I wanted to take you over it, dude, because it's like your life, man. Like,
right 18
to 30 years old, you're in prison, you're thinking your life's over. And how long have you been out now?
8 years.
8 years, you're flying over it. And I just thought it would be cool.
Yeah, and this just shows what's possible, bro. Like, I'm not just, so think about this. 8 years ago, I would look at it like I'm an 18-year-old kid with 0 education, like didn't get past the 9th grade, no, like not a family business I could go run to or nothing like that, like, and with, like I said, 0 clue what to do. And I had to figure out how to get sober. Like, I had to learn how to live out here, and like I've done all this in 8 years.
Crazy,
now I'm flying over this LinkedIn helicopter.
All right, I'm gonna make a bank again. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Wow.
saw the guys in orange, and I was like, oh, I gotta turn over there real quick.
Look at this. How do you know much to steer? Just like judgment?
It's just like watch, like it's just little movements. See
Oh
that?
my gosh, wow.
Which part you want me to fly over? The main
The big
one?
building, yeah, again.
So is that where you lived at?
Yeah. That's maximum security. That's like the old school, built in 1938. The movie Stir Crazy was filmed there. So it just went buildings by as it got older. So the big building on the left, that's CB2. That's built in 1938. That's like 5x7 cells, bro. The smallest cells in the entire state of Arizona. And then the buildings on the right by the death house, that's CB1, 3, and 5, which they...
Okay, so you see the prisoners out there right now?
Yeah.
Is that CB5, the death house? Or is it?
Nope, that's another yard.
Okay, so you see them straight there?
Yeah.
Is that the death house right in front of us?
Yep.
See all the orange guys?
Yeah.
Right there after that?
No, the death house is, so see that big 2-story building?
Yeah.
In the walls?
Yeah.
The little thing with the white stuff on top of it? Like the white tubes?
Yeah. On the
And
ground.
you see just to the right of that white tube, there's that big spout going up to the top?
Yeah.
That's from the gas chamber.
Jeez, man. Oh, the spout.
No big deal, just riding over my old house right here, Century Unit.
My old house.
Oh, yeah.
You're telling me that's the death tube right there on the left?
Yeah, that's literally the death chamber. You know how I know about that whole place? Because I've been there, unlike Wes Watson. Yep, I actually did time in Max.
Oh, what?
Look at this.
Bro.
And now I'm riding up in a helicopter with this dude.
Let's go. Bro.
Jeez, this is crazy. All right, and I even remember what I was saying with the story. So those kids in there are like kids with no dads at home, like straight like black Mexican like gangbangers. The black kids are like, you know, like they look like little LeBron James. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look like 20, 25-year-old dudes, and you know, it's like scrawny white kids. They literally will take your food every day.
Really?
That you want to be able to eat.
From a
You
white
will
boy.
literally have to fight for your tray every
where
day.
the Gilbert Goon guys going?
Yeah, you'll have to fight for your tray every day. No joke. Every day when he gets a meal, he's going to have to scrap for it. Every single meal.
He'll have to literally
He will
start
literally have to
throwing
fight.
down.
Oh, whoever the toughest, the little tough kid running the pot will just going to take his tray.
He's done for, man.
Oh, dude, you can't even tell how bad that. Like,
Wait, how is
the good
that
thing
worse
is
than
hopefully-
maximum security? I don't get that.
because the max you're just locked down all day.
You don't have interaction.
Yeah,
with
like that
anyone.
place right there, you're literally locked down 24 hours a day. You never leave your cell.
Oh my gosh.
So like it sucks.
What's this? This is another section.
I think these
Have
are
you
the
been
new prisons.
Okay.
That they
So you
built.
never been there.
Oh no, those I have. That's Iman Complex. Oh, that's SMU. Yeah, because holy shit, yeah, that's Supermax. So that's where death row is.
Which one?
The big one in the back, in the middle. Wow.
We'll fly over it again. I wanted to show you some property out here at my family's. It's called the Boulders. It's pretty cool. It'll be a good loop. We'll loop over it and then come
So
back
then
again.
two of those yards right there are all sex offenders, and then Supermax, which is like where death row is, and that's where like the actual shoot program is.
Because if you put the sex offenders with anyone else, they're getting jumped.
They're getting
So they
killed.
keep them together.
Killed, yeah.
Just a bunch of
Dude,
predators.
if you go to 4 yards and stuff, like it's like a hands-off policy. You know what that means? Like you're not even allowed to touch them without a weapon.
As
Which means like if an inmate, if you're sent to like, so say they, because they'll slip in there. So like which means like you'll have like a dude that has an old sex offender case, but his new charge he doesn't do it because he doesn't want to go back to the sex offender yard. So if say we'll find one, a lot of times it's cops that are telling us. You know, like the
hey,
last.
he used to be a sex offender.
Yeah, like the one I was under investigation for before I got out, the cops literally come and tell us, you know, like, hey, so-and-so has a rape charge from Colorado or something. So then we'll look it up and find out. So then if you're sent to, like, get the dude, like, you're not even allowed to not do it without a weapon. Like, you're supposed to kill those sex offenders, yeah.
You kill the sex offenders.
You're supposed to, yeah. If not, you'll get in trouble.
I mean, I didn't know that, but I feel like if a lot of sex offenders out there knew that, maybe it would cut down on that.
Exactly. Or if they weren't protected and given their own yards to where they have protection, 100%.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest problems, I feel like. There's no punishment for them. Even though, like, the convicted sex offenders, they get out because they're on the yard, they know they're protected. If they were in there fighting for their lives every day, do you think they're going to get out and hurt children or women again?
Right. No. Okay, so how do you smuggle a weapon into prison?
So weapons you usually make in there, just from like, you'll get like random pieces of metal from the kitchen or something. Like the weapon that they used for the last one was,
What did you say the last
razor blades.
The one that you're talking about, your guy?
They use razor blades and metal.
How does a razor blade get in there?
They got it from maintenance somehow. So, because there's like maintenance jobs you'll have, so like if that guy, everything's counted for, so maybe the maintenance worker happened to steal an extra razor from work, and then he, brought it home. And then the other piece was a metal rod from a handicapped guy's cast. Yeah, so like, well, literally, you have a dude that would come out of medical, like with a cast or something like that, and you're like, no joke, if you need, like, yo, sorry, but we have to take this metal piece out of your cast, and shut your mouth about it too. And then you take that and sharpen that thing up, and literally.
How often do they do raids for weapons? Like on the movies, you see like.
For sure, they do it. They're called quarterly, so for sure every 3 months. But then anytime something happens with like a stabbing or if they get a really bad staff assault, then they'll do it as a way of like messing with you, So at least every 3 months, but sometimes use every month or two.
And they're just at random.
Yeah, that's why you like
clean up 90%, 100%.
No. And that's why it's like nicer being in maximum security after like you've been in prison so long and you're like institutionalized like I was, like you just like max because you don't get to leave, but they don't mess with you, they don't mess with your cell, like they just kind of lock you in there and leave you alone, And as weird as enough as I like that at the end.
What the heck?
Because running yards is like, it's like a high school times 10, you know what I'm saying? It's like the high school drama with violence. It's like, dude, it's so much to like keep up with. It's just a joke sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, you got to imagine that, like a bunch of kills with nothing better to do and drugs on the yard and people that can't pay. It's just like, some days, so on a 4-yard, you get wrecked 3 times a week, right? You only get out of your cell Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Say there's like a lockdown, we've been locked down for a week, right? The next time I get to go out, imagine all the drama that built up for that week when people are locked down, like trying to get dope and stuff like that. Yeah, and then they haven't been able to talk to me.
Withdrawals.
Something, yeah. So then it's like by the time I get out, it's like I can't even. Like my whole 2 hours out of rec, like all I've been doing is talking about yard drama because then it's the first time.
It's your job to calm it down.
Yeah, when you run the yard, yeah. So then it's like everybody from every building probably, because you're on rec field while they feed the rest of the building. They do a run by run, each building and run. So then while you're out there, there's probably almost every run has something they want to talk to you about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't even. So like I remember a lot of times after rec, I would get back to the close the door. Like, God, thank God, close that freaking door. You know what I'm saying?
What?
I would like want to go back to my cell.
So how many years in until you become the shot caller of that yard, and where was that at? And can you talk about like what you had to do to become?
Yeah, I was 23. It was the first time I ran a yard.
So 5 years in.
Yeah, and it was a 4-yard, and
it was a what yard?
A 4-yard, which is like the 4 yards are the most gangster yards in the state.
What does that mean?
It's one step below maximum security, so it's like all the killers from maximum security, but like you actually get wrecked 3 times a week. So it's like that's where you are. Like, so if you're in maximum security and you're a piece of shit, usually nothing's gonna happen to you because, like I told you, you're in your own cell. But like, so they'll just like play it cool with you until you get to the yard, and then they'll send a message out to the yard to follow you. So it's like that's why the 4 yards they're always locked down for bad shit happening, because that's like where all the bad shit happens to people's own 4 yards. All the gangsters are there.
So it's 5 yards. 5 years in. Yeah. What do you have to do? Like, is it a spot that opens? This guy. Like,
so yeah, that's like? How it is. Like you just like you had,
because in business, that manager gets promoted or something.
It's almost just like that, bro.
Quits.
Like, yeah, it's almost just like that. So like, I mean, when you get there, you say I want to join the team, and for the most part, which says like, yeah, I'm down to put in work and do whatever I want to like.
So you put in your resume, hey,
yeah,
I'm ready to do what it takes.
Because I didn't care about anything. Like, I had just got 12 years. It feels like a life sentence for one. 2, like, why would I behave? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look what happened in my life.
Even at 12 years, you're like, hey, I don't care.
No, it feels like a life sentence. Yeah.
Dang. So this is called the Boulders really quick. This is my family's property.
No way. Whose van is that on your property?
So they're doing some work on it. They're going to put some pods out here and start leasing it out as like a resort.
No way.
But right now it's been all public.
Oh,
they have a little house out here in between right now, and then they have some decks that they're building. And then, yeah, man, it's pretty fun to come out here and camp out.
You're joking. What do you take the ATVs out here and stuff?
Yeah, it's fun to ride quads and dirt bikes and whatnot. But you can see all the little decks here between the boulders, you know.
Oh, no way. That's where the pods are gonna go?
Yeah. Someone's out there right now.
And that's the house right there that you live on?
There is a house that they rent out right now.
Wow. Where is this, Florence?
This is Florence, yeah. So, you know Florence Calvin Highway? Oh, that's just the main highway that comes through.
Wow. How many acres do they have here?
So it kind of goes for a long time, but there's over 60,000 acres. From like it starts over here and moves down all the way to the river down there. So it's pretty crazy.
You're joking.
Okay, so how do you become a shot caller?
Okay, so
25. You put in your resume. Hey, I
yeah,
want
and
to be
it's
this
like
guy.
you like so then you join it like pretty much like you're joining with the clique, right? And then it's like anytime something happens, like you know when you get sent to go smash somebody, it's almost like you like one of your sales guys. Just like I'm gonna like trying to compare like prison stuff to business terms.
Yes, please.
It's like one of your sales guys that just kills it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he's closing like 50% of deals. Like he's getting good reviews. It's the same stuff. Anytime I'm sent to go smash somebody, like I'm beating the brakes off them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm making money. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just doing all the right stuff. And then
they're like, hey, this guy's down to play.
Yeah, and then
he
I
takes care of business.
Yeah, and then you know the dude running the yard gets rolled up, and I'm like, shit.
What does rolled up mean?
Which means so he got snatched up off the yard, which they end up doing to me, which they'll do like predator packets on you, which means they literally say like, you know, there's too many reports on you. They're saying that you're a predator on the yard, so the predatory behavior, then those like automatically warrant maximum security. That's why I got sent to max every time.
Is probably inevitable for all shot callers, right? Because you're doing that anyways.
Yep.
And the guards know who you are.
100%, yeah. And so that happens, and then they roll him up, and I'm just like, shit, I think I'm like further to, you know, the baddest dude here now, you know? Like, I got to be next in line. It was between me and this dude, Chuck, and Chuck was like, he had like 30 years, and like he had been down forever, but like...
He had 30 years.
Yeah, but you asked me, like, he was a pussy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, he was like... Seriously, scrawny ass old like dope fiend pussy, and I was just like, dude, and I knew he was gonna try and say he wanted to run the yard. But
who decides it? The last shot caller?
So no, they would if they can, but if they get snatched up and no one like calls it, then it's pretty much who calls a shot there, you know. So it's like pretty much it's gonna be between me and Chuck, and like there's no way this.
Are you fighting him for it?
If I had to, I would, yeah. But Chuck knew better there, you know what I'm saying? So like. I got a message that Chuck was running the yard, and I was like, absolutely. From his little young, so I was like, no, tell him I'll come over after chow. I'm running the fucking yard.
I'm coming
And I literally go up in his cell. I was like, yo, I'm running this yard. Are we cool? And he's like, yep, we're good. Yep. And I was like, that's what I thought. All right, thanks, you know. And so, and then I'm running the yard. And then I'm like, I remember I was like running the yard. I was like, holy shit. I was like, how the hell is this? Because I used to think like this little white boy from Ahwatukee, you know what I mean? I'm like 23 years old running this yard, like, and then I'm like,
what prison is this at?
This is Cimarron in Tucson, and I'm in a relationship with a correctional officer at this point too.
You know what's funny? I'm sitting here thinking like 2 months ago I had Jamie Gissel up here. He was on SWAT for 15 years. And he's the baddest guy on SWAT, and now I got like the exact opposite, the baddest guy.
Yeah, literally.
Like people that he was going after. It's so funny, like the black and white here.
I do the same thing because, like, you know, the SSU, they're like the detectives that bust you in there. And when I went out to lunch with Sheriff Lamb one day, he said he wanted to bring a buddy that wanted to go out with me, and it was like the SSU head sergeant from in there too. And I was just like, who would have thought I'd be having lunch with the SSU sergeant? Man. Yeah, you know.
Okay, so you're like, hey, I'm running this yard.
Yeah. So
what's the advantages of running the yard?
I mean, endless advantages. Just like cops would do favors for you. You know what I'm saying? Like
give me, I don't know,
like pretty much if I'm on a 4-yard for the most part, if I'm running the yard, I can almost pretty much tell them like, don't even lock my cell door. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it open. I want to walk around
like
all
I'm
night.
running shit. Yeah, like let me go handle shit. You know what I mean? Like cops will sometimes give you like, they'll make you special food in the chow hall, like just all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And why? Just because they don't want you turning on them, or
yeah, they want a good report on you. You know what I'm saying? They want, and if something like if they're having trouble with one of my inmates, I'll go check them for them or something like that. You know, like we'll do a lot for cops that do a lot for us in there too. You know, just like anything in the world. You know what I'm saying? You scratch someone's back, they're gonna scratch yours. Like, it's almost like being nice, but it's like to another degree. You know what I'm saying? Like you do stuff for them, and they'll do stuff for you, and they want to like cops on those 4 yards. They just want to go home.
Dude,
safely.
My mind's just like blown by how this works. So it's got to be hard for them then when they have to roll up the shot caller then, right? Because it's like almost out of their control.
It is, but then it's like they'll come with like 4 cups and they just like cuff you up right then. So it's like you ain't doing shit anyways. You know, you could start swinging on them, but it's like, and that does happen sometimes.
No, but
too.
if they have this relationship and they're like, hey, you got to get out, like that's got to be hard for them because now they got to go develop a relationship with the new guy.
100%. It could be some jackass that they don't like too, you know. But it always happens. Like from the time I was running yards, but I never sat on a yard longer than like 6 to 9 months. Every time I was rolled up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every time.
And then you go to a new prison, or you go to?
New prison. Usually the whole like a detention unit for a month, and then another prison.
And then, so how many different yards did you, how many
My
different,
last 3 years in there, I was moved 16 times.
and you became the shot caller of every new yard?
Almost every yard I touched after that I ran, yeah.
How? Because that guy, there's that you
So-
in that yard.
There was that, and then I'm telling you, like, when I had that relationship with that corrections officer too, like, I was like, it was like legendary stuff, bro. Like, it went like everybody and their mother talked about it. Like, it brought,
They knew who you were coming in.
yeah, and it like, because it was like it's the best job as a property officer. So like, I was ordering shoes from East Bay. Like, I had ordered my own clippers I wanted. Like, I had Air Maxes, Jordan, like everything you possibly want. You know, I had Oakley sunglasses, the fattest chain. You know, and you ain't allowed to have none of that stuff. You know.
But here you are walking around.
And
with
yeah,
it.
you have to have your shirt tucked in. I come on with my shirt untucked, rocking a fat ass chain, Oakley.
That's why you want to be the shot caller.
Yeah, and they don't even touch. They don't even say shit to you. You know what I mean?
So here's this prison again. Point out where the maximum
Supermax
is.
to be this middle one back here.
Were you ever here?
Yeah, I've been to so SME1 and then SME2, and then I've been to this one's cooking it. Yeah, damn.
Dude.
Yeah. So that's the north and south yard, and then each one like you walk. So look at that's SMU. See how there's no windows there?
Yeah.
That's SMU.
What is that? Like why aren't there windows?
SMU1 and SMU2. SMU2 is built afterwards, and there's 2 windows. There's 2 extra people per building. So Pelican Bay in California was mirrored after SMU2. It's set up the exact same way as SMU2.
And why doesn't that one have windows?
Because it's just older.
Okay. That's
Cooking and Meadows, and then Reining should be 4-yard cells. Oh, that's Reining, yep. Damn. Oh, no, sorry, that's SMU right there. That's SMU2, and that's Reining. I've been to both these places. See how these are SMU, so there's no windows there. Just like the other one with no windows, those are
So what
Supermax.
are those guys doing in there right now? They're just in their cell.
Sitting in their cell
locked up,
24 hours a
chilling.
day, never leaving their cells. And all they get to look at is a cement wall outside their walls.
They don't get breaks.
No, that's no, never. The only thing you get is you get escorted, shackled up out to another cage, and they lock you in this cage, and that's it. And it's another cement wall. It's nothing.
That cage is on the corner there, it looks like.
Yep. No, you will never see the sunlight. Never see the
That's
sunlight.
kind of messy.
The only light you get is
Let's talk about that for a minute.
the big
man.
light that goes on in your life from 6 a.m. till 10 o'clock p.m.
Oh, that's got to be depressing.
It's like
man.
torture. It's like torture. Yeah.
How do you survive that?
Just do it, bro.
Huh?
You just do.
Are you just going crazy?
Absolutely going crazy. Yes, but it's like I always say this, like you never know what you can handle until you're put in a situation to handle it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's to be honest, like going through all that stuff it helped me out in life so much better because I was actually able to like look at the positive part of it and like, you know, that's what I teach is perspective now. You know, it's like I was able to like look, so you see the death house again, see the wire,
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
and then that CB1 right in between those 2 buildings, and it's like underground.
Who's there?
Nothing. It's just another building. CB1 was my favorite place to live in there.
So these guys are out right now. How long are they out? Like,
So that's Southview. Those are all sex offenders. Every single person right there is a sex offender.
how long are they able to be outside for?
That's like kind of an open yard, so they probably get 3 rec periods a day. So they get to come out like in the morning after breakfast, and they get locked down for count at like 11. Then they come out at noon till like 3, and then they go to dinner, and then they come out from like 5 till 7. That's a kind of an open yard.
Is there any fighting going on there? Or they're just
just fights, not like not.
Is there a shot caller of that yard too?
So that's the thing. That's why. That's a good question. So you'd ask me, like, people always ask, you know, if you get the sex offenders, why they would want to like try and come to a normal yard afterwards when it's dangerous for them, right?
Right.
Because those yards have no shot callers. So what happens there? The toughest dude can rape you. He can do whatever he wants. He can take your store. It's just like. That's why each yard needs shot callers, but there's no politics, there's no shot callers, like it's every man for himself.
So it's just the toughest guy there rules.
Yeah, so like literally imagine if you're some little dweepy child molester and you get put in a cell with a big rapist. What do you think's happening in that cell every day? You're literally getting raped every day.
So how does one get into a relationship with, was it your officer? Or?
A corrections officer?
Yes.
So it's like, dude, it was something from the movies. Like, so I bullshit you not. They had just made a truce between the Aryan Brotherhood and the Border Brothers, which is the Paisas, which are the Mexicans from Mexico, okay? And they're called Border Brothers. So the head Border Brother made a truce with the head Aryan Brotherhood dude, and we were at war. You know why?
This is why you're in there, and this is the backstory before you got in.
Well, this is the backstory to why I got moved to that yard. So they have a truce, And the reason they were at war is because a head Aryan Brotherhood dude had killed the head Border Brother guy just to earn his patch. He wanted to click up, so he murdered him out in Winslow and Kaibab on a yard, right? So for years they were beefing.
He wanted to click up?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He wanted to get his patch, and you have to like blood in and get your patch, so he literally wouldn't kill the Paisa. So anyways,
Okay.
so there's a truce. So then this is how it works in the state. The state even knows. So they make a truce between the Aryan Brotherhood and the Border Brothers. So then, so they had us all separate. So this yard in Cimarron where I was at was all Mexicans from Mexico and Cali dudes, right? The entire yard. No white people, no blacks, all them, right? So when the truce happens, then they open it back up. So then they send whites and blacks there and all of us from the other yards. When you go there, when they do these, each yard puts a list of who they want off the yard. So when they do these big mass moves, it's like they take every group of troublemakers from that yard, right? So when I went to that yard, it's like every single one of my homies came with me, right? And that's why it's crazy, because when you go there, it's like all the who's who from each yard, right? So it's already the who's who from each yard, and we go there, and then you go get dressed out. So we're at this, they put us on the rec field, and you go to the property, which is where you get clothing, right? So then you have to get dressed out, and you get all like your 3 outfits for, 3 boxers, 3 shirts, and all that stuff. And it was so crazy. I go in and I said, it was like, you call it prison hot, but it was like a Mexican chick that was like, she's hot because you're in prison, but like on the streets you wouldn't think she was hot, right?
Right.
So then I see her and I was just like, I've always had, game, and I'd like, especially when I was
always had game.
I was always a smooth talker, so you try to just plot and do whatever you can every day in there, And so I see her, and I bullshit you not, I see her like she goes to put the waist up to me to see if they fit my waist, and I could see her eyes got like bug-eyed, and and as a cop too, it was the first time I ever did this to her, I just like grabbed her hands, and I was like, hey, you got some soft hands, and I was like, and she had some essays working for her, so I knew they were going to be leaving, right? Because they were switching out the yard building at a time, right? So I was like, you got some soft ass hands? I was like, I said, you don't want me to come work with you? And she's like, yeah, put in a job application. I was like, you don't even know my name. And she's like, what's your name? And I was like, Meyerhoff. She's like, all right, put in an application, I'll hire you. I was like, don't bullshit me. She goes, no. She's like, they're leaving tomorrow or something like that. She's like, put in your job. She goes, put in your resume, you got the job. Or not resume, job application, you got the job. I was like, all right. And I literally go back out to the rec field, and I'm telling all my homies that are in the yard, and I'm like, I'm still 23, so I'm like, there's some OGs that I kind of like look up to, and I'm like telling them, like, dude, I'm pulling the property officer, like 100%, just watch me. And they're just like, yeah, right, whatever. So then I put in the job application, and the next day, 5 a.m., bam, my cell door pops. And it's hurt. It was so crazy. I couldn't even keep a straight face, so I get my cell door pop, and I come out there.
You have an inmate? You have a cellmate in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, instantly I go out there, and it's like, I'm not even with a CO. It's like, I could tell her this was, and I was like, within 2 days we were hooking up, and then I got bringing in the dope sack for me, cell phones, like everything, bro. Food, like she would come out. My mom would come to visit me that weekend, and my mom would make like literally a whole like plate casserole of food, and she would drop it off to the cop's house, and then she'd bring that in for me every day. So I'm on a 4-yard, like literally eating food from the streets. Like we were drinking promethazine with syrup. Like I had anything you can imagine. I had her bring in my homie's, his wife's underwear. So he had like his wife's underwear in his cell. Like anything you wanted, we had it. So like it was so crazy. Like the whole state heard about it. So you're calling state to state, and like the name Chappie like went legendary status after that. And then everything.
That's never really been done before.
I've never seen it. No.
Wait, so did she get fired? What's her story?
So they moved her to like the shitty job on Complex where she wasn't around any inmates, and they literally put her to like the patrol job where you just sit in a truck and drive around the big complex every day.
Is she still there, or have you
still kept her job? So that's why I told her, I was like, I coached her ahead of time. I was like, yo, whenever this goes bad, because it's not if it's going to go bad, it's when, because people are always going to hate and tell on you, So it's like, I was like, all they're
really loved you, bro.
Yeah, I was like, all they're going to have is your word against mine. So like, they're going to tell you that I'm telling on you. You know damn well I will never tell on you, and I'm not going to roll on this. So as long as you don't fall for that, you'll be okay. And she held her ground. I did. Of course, I told her the same thing, and they just put me in the hole and took me up the yard and moved her to that other job.
Hey, what's the hole mean? Like
solitary confinement again. So it's like Supermax, but so each yard has its own. It's the same terms as Supermax. You're in solitary confinement, 23 hours a day lockdown. The only time you get out is like you get shackled up and you get walked to a little wrecked cage.
How long were you in? So they couldn't pin that you guys were actually having a relationship. She denied it. You denied it. but they're like, hey, we know something's going on here,
Yep.
so you're over here and you're in the hole for a week, a month?
No, I'm in the hole for a month. So it's called a 2A investigation. So they put me in the hole under 2A investigation. So I sit in there for a month, and then I go right back to another 4 yard on the complex, which is Rincon, which is a yard on the same complex, but it's another 4 yard. And then I go there, take the yard right when I get there, and I last probably...
Take the yard, but like, once again, there's you there. You just go there and say, hey, you either fight for it or give it.
I go there, I'm like, yo, who's running this yard? You kind of know who's running each yard, and I knew the dude wasn't. I mean, I don't want to sound douchey, but like I knew the dude wasn't a G like me, and I was like, all right, this is my yard now, you know, like go tell so and so Chappie's here.
And he decides if he wants to.
Yeah,
fight
like yo,
or...
tell so and so Chappie's here. This is my yard now, you know. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was on that yard for I think 4, 5, 6 months, and then I go to the hole for a predator packet there, and that's when they send me to. I sit in the hole for when you sit in the hole for about 30 days, and then they ship you to maximum security after they do your max, because they have to do a max custody hearing on you. So they do the whole hearing, then they send you to maximum security, and then it's like you get shipped like there by yourself to one of those places.
Wow.
And then you have to sit in there for at least a year, and then you go back to a 4 yard. And then the same thing, another predator pack, and then I go right back to max. I sit there for another year, and I go back. And that was like the last part of my sentence. And I got released from there. So remember my last? I told you my last like 11 months I'm in solitary confinement. I remember telling the cops like, you guys can't expect me to like make it out here, like go my last 11 months from solitary confinement. Like I'm already institutionalized. Like you're like that's my mindset. Is like, how do you expect me to succeed out there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you've been locked up like this.
But I don't realize they don't give a shit about you succeeding. You know, they don't give like not 1%. You know, it's like it's on you to figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what helped you the most when you got out of prison? It's been 12 years. You step out. I love that video.
Oh my God! Come on, baby. He just got out.
Gratitude, bro. Gratitude will take you anywhere in life.
That's it.
Yep. I was so grateful to be free. Like when you can find gratitude from literally just being able to breathe fresh air, you know what I'm saying? And you realize that like, it sounds cliche, but like when you have that much gratitude, you realize that like, you know, when you have all your freedom taken from you, you realize like you have 24 hours a day. Like it sounds cliche, but you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
People don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
So when I look at it like that, like I already have an advantage on the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? Because you might look at it like your life sucks, like you don't got this, or this dude's got it so much better than you, or he's got a hotter wife, or he has more money than you. And I'm looking at it like, dude, I got 24. I'm free. I can do whatever the hell I want now.
Yeah.
You can take over the world if you want.
But you didn't come out of prison like that, right?
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, when I found God, there's a switch flipped for me. You know what I'm saying?
So who helped you find God after prison then?
Sheriff Lamb.
Really?
Yeah. Seriously.
So does he
That
care?
lunch I was telling you about, bro, that's the day I started believing in God again.
That's cool.
I was sitting down at lunch with Sheriff Lamb, the SSU sergeant, and I'm like, what the hell is my life now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had so many coincidences happen that day in a row, bro, that I was just like, you know, that night I'm like just laying in bed, and like instead of like I used to go to bed like just mad at myself thinking like, God, I don't want to wake up tomorrow, you know, like instead I'm like sitting in bed like with so much gratitude. I'm like, dude, how does this much good shit happen to a guy like me now, you know? And I'm like, and then like literally the next thought I remember thinking, I was like, maybe this is God.
Dang.
And then I'm like, I don't remember if I told you, but I was like, shit, maybe I should pray then or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know how to pray anymore, you know? I had forgot the Our Father even, you know, and I just like remember saying like, yo, if this is you, like, please be real and like show me this is you, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what to do, but like please, if you're real, just show me, you know? And I'm like, I think this is you, but like I didn't know, you know? And then it's like, but like when you're cognizant of it now, and you know, now like I look for all the like places that God's in my life, you know, like all the good stuff that happens to me, it's like, and you know, like the more I try to just give him credit, not take credit myself, which is kind of hard for a dude with a big ego, to be honest, but like the more I realize, the more credit I give to him, the more good stuff that happens to me, you know what I mean? And it's like the more I just like help people, like when I don't want to, you know, or like even this, like I want to go ride up in a helicopter, but like, you know, like you know, I've told you like behind the scenes, like where I'm at, like mentally, like I don't care to like give people my time anymore, like, and it's so crazy, like on social media, bro, like they don't deserve it. Now that I have a son, like I just don't care about any of this shit anymore, bro. Like yeah. I've dealt with so many fake people, and to be honest, like I've wasted so much time and money, like trying to get around these people that are at the top of this game, bro. And besides, like, no offense to the few people that, like, Andy Frisella, Josh Snow, Ryan Stewman, Tommy Mello, like, none of those dudes are as successful as you, bro. And, like, everybody has this facade that they are, and they ain't. And not only that, even the ones that are successful, they're not good humans, you know what I'm saying? They're cheating on their wives, and, like, it's like, I spent all this time and money, like, wanting to meet these guys and wanting to get there. And, like, once I got there, I was like, dude, I'm nothing like these fucking dudes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes are fake as you can believe, bro. And it's like, and it's like, even when you're there, it's like, they're not even like, even the ones that have the money they say they have, they're not good people. You know, they're cheating on their wives, and it's like, and they think I think it's cool because, like, I did prison time, and I'm like, I don't like that, bro. That's whack. Like, I want a good family. You know, like, I come from a broken family. You know, like, I would cry just thinking about it, bro. But I'm like, I will be the one to break the generational curse of my entire family. You know what I mean? Like,
I love
that's
that.
what I care about. You know, and it's like,
I want you to talk about that for a second, though. Like, you have this label attached to you, like, you're a convict, right?
yeah.
How does that mess with your mental stability, and what does that mean for, like, that label in life? Like, how did you overcome that when you got out?
You know what? Like, ever since, like, I don't know, ever since that shit happened, bro, like, I've always just had in my head that I was just a fuck up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, like,
that's what I'm saying. For 12 years, you're just telling yourself, I screwed up. Like, I was 18 years old.
Like, I hate saying this, but it's always, like, the truth. Like, and I don't want to ever seem like that money, like, makes everything, because money doesn't make everything. I was miserable when I started making a lot of money, you know, but, like, once I started making some money and I realized, like, holy shit, all right, I can survive out here, you know, because, like, that's my biggest worry is, like, you know, like, I didn't see anybody that came from money, you know, like, and I thought everybody that, like, had a story like yours, like, you come from money and your family just gave you money, and, like, I didn't think that there had been people that had built businesses by themselves. Like, I never saw that, so I didn't even know that was possible. So, like, once I always say, like, not that, like, money made everything, but once I saw that I was able to make money, like, just enough to survive and, like, be successful, I was like, I was able to breathe. I was like, all right, cool. Now, you know, now I'm like, all right, I can fucking, like, survive out here, you know? And then it's like, once I started making, like, you know, real good money, you know, 20, 30 G's a month, and I was just like, holy shit, you know? And then it's like, then Vice TV reaches out to me, and I had 400 followers, but I'm, like, making good money, and I'm like, because they saw a YouTube interview that I had given, and I'm like, Vice TV wants to do a TV show about me? Like, because even then, you know, I was successful, but I didn't, like, you know, now I'm used to open eye about prison. Like, back then, like, I didn't tell everybody I'd been to prison. I tried,
probably because you were labeled as it's bad.
Yeah, so I tried to hide it as much as, you know, I still got the neck tattoos, but if I could, I didn't tell people I'd been to prison. You know, now I'm proud of it because, like, you know, like, I've done more than 99% of the people out here that haven't been to prison. You know what I'm saying? With zero education, zero handouts, like, you know, nothing. I always say this, like, I got given like a pink truck when I got out of prison. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I got given a pink truck and a room on my brother's to live at for, like, you know, a year until, like, and then he was like, all right, get out and figure your shit out, you know? And then, like, I went and rented an apartment with a friend, and, like, just like that, I had to get in his name because I couldn't even get an apartment in my name. And, like, I've done this all by myself. And then I rented a condo by myself. And then I bought my first house, you know, 4 years out of prison because I still couldn't even get an apartment in my own name. So I, like, literally bought a custom house. You know, I saved up 77 grand and bought a custom house 4 years out of prison. And then traded that in, you know, bought a $1 million house, which is my next one, you know, put 139 grand down on that, 5.5 years out of prison.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. Man. And then I decided to walk away from all that. And, you know, that's what's the craziest part. You know what's crazy? I was honestly embarrassed to tell this part about my story where I'm at now, but I'm like, just right now, like, just so that I'm getting to this, I know where it's going, like, I'm so happy to tell this part of my story now.
Yeah.
Because, like, all I wanted to do was one Vice TV reach out to me, like, all I wanted to do is be Instagram famous, bro. That's it. Like, I just wanted to, like, help people and be Instagram famous and just, you know, have hundreds of thousands of followers and just post and get paid to post and all that shit and, you know, meet the who's who of Instagram and, you know, all the Bradleys and the Frisellas and, like, I know every single one of those guys personally, and it's like, I don't want no part of that whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I barely even do my Instagram, and I only do it just for, like, because, you know, stories like this help people, so I do share shit on there just for that, but it's like, so I decided to, you know, walk away from my job and, like, all, like, that money, and I wanted to just, like, be Instagram famous, and, like, you know, I took 2 years and, like, started a podcast, you know, so here's the deal, I launched a bunch of stuff that, like, you know, in the credit card processing company, that, you know, I have a ton of stuff that, like, pays me residually now, so, like, I'm in a million times better situation, and, like, that I won't have to work for long in a couple more years. Yeah. And, you know, but I decided to leave and do all that, and And then I had my son, and I was just like, I was at an event in Orlando speaking. It was a 4-day event, right? And I'm speaking, and it's like, that's a normal thing, you're out there, and it's like a Thursday to Monday event or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm out there now, it's like, but I have a kid at home, and it's like, now my wife's handling the baby all weekend. I miss my son. I'm like, dude, I do not want to do this anymore. And I was just like, man, what do I do? And then it's like, I think I'm just going to go back to the car business and like take my old job back and just like literally just ask my entire life back. Now that I've been like, I'm married, I have a son, like I'm in such a different space mentally. And here's the deal, like if I didn't do that, I've been like almost on the verge of tears crying this whole time but these are like happy tears, because like where I'm at in life. But it's like, I thought I wanted to do that and like I would be like depressed because I was like, I'm giving up on my dreams, you know what I mean? I'm going back to my thing, but it's like, it's so far from that, the truth. It's like, I have such a cool life now. I have the most beautiful son. Like I'm married. Like I legit have 6 different businesses now, streams of income now, and it's like I can do what I want. I'll be literally I'll be retired by the time I'm 41, 42 years old, and now like.
And that's like working like literally 11 to 12 years.
Yeah, and that's like retiring like living like where I can do whatever I want. Because like if I want to pinch pennies, I could not work right now. But like I want to be able to do whatever I want. Like life like this, bro. Like I want to be able to live your life without ever looking at. No joke, bro. That's like, but stuff like that, and it's like. It's all mental though, because I've seen it and I've done it now. Like so now when I see guys like you, I'm like, instead of looking at a dude with a helicopter and thinking, damn, it must be nice to be him. I'm like, shit, I can't wait till I get one of those. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can ask people, you can get advice to learn anything out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's the who's who of like people that actually have real businesses out here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of the smartest people that you actually want to get advice from aren't the people with millions of followers on Instagram.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're people that are really rich.
Well, there's guys like you that have spent 12 years in prison and seen a lot of crazy things, bro. But I appreciate you coming on, man. I know your time is limited and you value it, but I mean, ever since I met you, dude, I've just been intrigued with you and just your mental capability of being able to lock in. I don't know if I could survive 23 hours in a cell with no window. And so it's amazing what you've done, dude. I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
How did you meet your wife?
At a gym up in North Scottsdale.
59
Scottsdale girl.
So what's funny is I saw her at 5-star before, but she was working out with a trainer, and I only saw her one time, and I tried to like creep on the 5-star page. She's like, who is this chick? Because she's 6'1", 6'1" black chick, with All-American volleyball player. So it's like she stood out like a sore thumb. So I was like, who the hell is that tall ass chick? And I didn't see her on the page. And then I go to Glory Games like 3 months later, and she's in the lobby, and I was like, yo, who are you? I've been looking for your ass. And like that took her out the next night on a date.
Yo, tell your story about like the white supremacy.
Yeah, so I had white pride. I had white pride tattooed across my stomach and everything. And yeah, I got it burned off my body and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, but
White
I told
pride
her
and then marries a black chick.
Yeah, so and I told her because I was like in the middle of it, and I was like, hey. Just so you know, I want to be open with you. And she's like, what? I was like, I have white pride across my stomach. She's like, what do you mean? I was shoulder. She's like, shut up. And I was like, I have 2 more sessions. It's getting removed. But she was like, oh, whatever. I don't care.
Oh my gosh, I love that.